I never realized what I really wanted to do with my life until I was about a sophomore in high school. Before then, I was stuck in the mindset that I would end up having nowhere to go in life. I wasn't involved in the community, and I surrounded myself with people that were really doing no good for me. I never had any positive support from the people around me. No one to guide me through the decisions I made in high school, and no one to help me make choices that would aid me in the future. Um, but my first summer of high school, I experienced something that really shaped me to be who I am today. This is the baby. Can you say hi, Whiskey? Hi. Say hi. That's my bag. My first year of high school, I was still involved with the little clique of the same people that I was involved with during middle school. And to be honest, during middle school, I was a really rebellious teenager. I mean, I did everything that parents would not want their kid to do. So I was really rebellious during middle school. I didn't really see life the way I see it today. I told myself that I wasn't going to go anywhere in life, and my only goal was to be like a hobo on the beach and live the beach life and not make any money and just be successful spiritually, and that was it. And that's how I saw life. I was basically a hippie. I was still involved with those people, and back then I really was a follower. I didn't do anything unless my friends were doing it, and whatever my friends did, I would do it, and I would just go with the flow. I didn't really have like the courage or the self-esteem to stand up and do stuff myself. I would always do what everyone else around me was doing. So my first year of high school, I looked like this, and I wasn't really a depressed person or anything. That was just what the people around me were looking like, and so I was like, why not? So I didn't really get a lot of positive attention. I didn't really make a lot of friends. The people that I did end up talking to or trying to talk to would kind of just be a little bit afraid, because of how I looked. And honestly, the way you look is your first impression. So people were either really afraid of me and kind of like freaked out by the way I looked, and so they would kind of make fun of me a little bit. And people would, think I was really standoffish and that I wouldn't really involve myself with people just because of the way I'd get judged. So I didn't really try to make any friends. I just went to my classes and did my thing and then went home and did illicit things. And the illicit things I would do would kind of interfere with my schoolwork as well. So I really wasn't the best student during freshman year. I mean, I didn't have any friends. I scared people off, and I'd come to school, under the influence. I wasn't really in a really good mindset my first year of high school. I didn't have a lot of confidence, and I didn't have a lot of people to help me or anything like that. My family was busy with other things. I just became an older sister at the time. Um, and so my family was really involved with, our new addition to the family, and no one really had enough time to worry about what Brittany was doing. And honestly, I feel like your first year of high school, it's a scary thing, and your family should be there involved with you. But, unfortunately, I didn't get that. So my first year of high school was something, I really didn't enjoy. Um, but then my first summer of high school, when I was just leaving being a freshman and becoming a sophomore, is when I got my first job, and I still am with the job today. And we're actually really successful. I'm now a manager of it, and I think I'm gonna get promoted this weekend because of a phone call I just got. It. I even have my own book, and it's gonna be published in 6 months. Yay! I think my job really shaped me to be who I was today, and it was actually a free coincidence of how I got into this job, and I honestly think it was an act of fate. One night, I really wanted to go hang out with some friends, it was a weekend, and my parents, they told me you can't go out, it's too late. I snuck out my window, and I went out anyways, and my parents found out, and they called me, and they were like, you have to stay the night out, you're not allowed here. So, I spent the night, on my friend's boat, actually, of where I was hanging out, spent the night on his boat, and the next morning, I figured my parents would come pick me up, and they told me, they were like, no, you have to find your own way home, like, we're not going to help you anymore after what you did. So, I didn't have a way home, and my friend was leaving to go to work that morning, so I was really stranded. We were 14 at the time. My friend wasn't able to drive yet, so his boss was coming to pick him up and take him to work. And his boss looked at me and he was like, you look like you had a rough night. And I was like, yeah, I actually did. And I'm on my way home now. I'm on my way home, but I don't have any way to get there. So he was like, okay, you know what? Your house is on the way to our workplace. I'll take you home. So he decided to take me home. And as we're driving, he's asking me questions and stuff. And he seemed really interested in me. And he decided to take me out to breakfast and talk more about what I want to do with my life. So later that day, I got an email from him, the man I had just met, my friend's boss. And he was like, you're a really interesting person and I see potential in you. I'd love for you to come and work for us. I was really excited, and that was going to be my first job, and I was like, okay, I was going to go apply at Publix, but this seems even better. So I saw potential in it. So I ended up going there that weekend, and his name is Henry, my boss now, and my boss then. He told me about the business, and it was about selling these crystals and minerals with energies and healing powers and stuff. And it was really interesting to me at the time, like even now when I explain it to people, people are like whoa. It was something I never really heard of before. And it was really cool. It was a fun place to work at. For me, it was better than bagging people's groceries and taking it to their car. And so I ended up having to draw these pictures of fairies for a guide that he had on the website, and he told me he'd pay me $100 a picture. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be making $100 in an hour, and I'm a 14-year-old. These kids are making minimum wage bagging things. So I was really into it and all for it. So that's what really got me started and off my feet. Honestly, my boss taught me a lot of life skills. Really taught me how to make good life decisions, and to realize that whatever you're doing, you have to make sure that it's going to help you one way or another in the future. Otherwise, it's pointless, So once he started telling me all of this and teach me all this, I realized that the people I was hanging out with really weren't on the same intellect level as I was on, and all they were really doing was bringing me down, and I didn't see any potential in them helping me out in life. So as I was a sophomore, I kind of dropped all of those people, and I dropped all of the negative things I was doing and the negative people, and honestly, my aura and my energy was just a lot more positive. And there's this quote, and it's "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." And so it's basically saying, the people that you hang around is going to be who you're going to be. The people you surround yourself with, that's you. If you're going to surround yourself with successful people, then you're going to be successful. It's something that happens in life. So I realized that, and I was just like, I want to surround myself with people that are going to be successful and positive people that are doing good for this world and good for themselves. So I kind of dropped all my friends, and I realized that I needed to, clean myself up a little bit. So I really, changed the way I looked and stuff, and I changed the way I acted. I changed myself around a little bit. It took some time, but eventually I did. And I noticed that sophomore year after the summer where I did all of this changing, when I was at school, it was a totally different experience, people wanted to talk to me, and people were interested in me, especially when I told them what I worked for, and a lot more people didn't judge me right off the bat, look at this hippie girl, she's weird looking and she's a drug addict or whatever. People saw me and they were like, wow, you look a lot, you're more bright, you're more of a bright person. I started hanging out with better people, and I spent my time more wisely and stuff. And look at this little baby. I just can't get enough of her. You purring? Oh, you're purring. Go play. So I started spending my time more wisely, and I just wasn't doing the things that I did when I was a freshman that really weren't helping me in life. They were actually, to be honest, physically it was killing me. I realized that I really wasn't involved with my family. At the time, I realized that I wasn't being the big sister I should have been to, my new little sister. And I didn't really do things with my family. When I was a freshman, I kind of just wanted to get home from school and get out. My friends were my family, and I didn't really do anything with them, and it was kind of sad. So I started to get more involved with my family and be the big sister I should have been, but be a good influence for her. And I realized, over maybe I guess sophomore summer, that I really just wanted to make my life a more positive experience, and I reflected off of my life before that, and took a look at who I was, and I realized I kind of wasted that year of my life. I didn't really do anything for myself. So I really gained the I guess the perspective of kind of spending my life doing good for others and doing good for myself and doing good for the world. any chance I get to help somebody, like, I immediately take that chance. If I see someone that needs help, even just little things, I'll make sure that I'm the one that helps them, and it makes you feel really good about yourself. What goes around comes around. I guess the way, like, I brought out myself, really influenced other people too, so I really, like, gained this self-confidence to be, like, who I was. I wasn't just, the kid in the corner, the weird kid in the corner, just doing her work, being all quiet. I became more, social with people and outgoing, and I enjoy that a lot. I'm a very outgoing person, and that really helped me, gain some friends and positive attention, and that got me through school a little bit more easier. It wasn't just let me go to school and write some stuff down and leave. It was kind of more fun experience, so I was happy that happened. I was happy that I really changed my whole outlook on everything, and it definitely was, for the better, to be honest. So really, my goal now is to just be the best person I can be, and I think I'm doing really good at it. Compared to, my freshman year, where I was the quiet, weird-looking girl that would come into school on something else. Now I'm like this really outgoing person that's involved and just wants to do the best for herself and others. And I think it was really for the better, and I am trying to be the best person I can be. Um, I have a book coming out. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm probably more successful than about 99% of the other kids in the school, and that's just me being honest. I really think I did change over the course of high school a lot. If someone had met me freshman year and hasn't seen me until now, they'd probably think I was a totally different person. I kind of have people telling me that all the time, especially when I moved to Jacksonville and came back. A lot of the people that didn't talk to me started talking to me. They're like, wow, you're so different, And I honestly, like, I appreciate that inside. I'm just like, yeah, that's a good thing. I'm glad I improved myself, because I knew I had to. Since being a freshman, I've become a person of independence, wisdom, maturity, and experience. I gained the wisdom of being able to see what choices will benefit me in the future and what choices won't. Each year of high school, I've worked harder than the year before. I've planned out my choices carefully and learned what my top priorities are. To be quite honest, I don't consider the person I was when I was a freshman to be a part of who I am today at all. I've learned and developed over the years to be the best person I can possibly be. It's taken a lot of work and sacrifice, but who I am now is exactly who I want to be. Okay, say bye, little babe. Bye. Bye-bye. I love you so much. I love you.